For the record, you ain't tryna grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't tryna link, no time to waste. For the record.
It's been a while since I've done a video, and I'm gonna tell you why. So it's been over a month since the ZX Lab event in London, and we got some pretty cool little goodies, as you could see from my previous video. If you haven't seen it, check it out on the link above. But it was a very, very cool event. We got a free t-shirt, we got a goodie bag, and I got my first one of these. How amazing are these? These are the little Offspring men, and I'd never had one before, so I'm pretty stoked about getting one of these. Anyway, away from that, I basically was told with about a week and a half to spare at the back end of November that I was going off to Florida to go and do some work. So that totally shut down my opportunities to be able to do videos for Crep City, videos for some shoe releases, and I'm finally getting back round to it. And I've got loads of stuff to show you, but we're going to do, considering it's probably one of the biggest shoes of the year and will be the biggest silhouette next year, we're doing the review of the Adidas YEEZY Boost 380 Alien. So I'm a little bit behind on this, and I do apologise, but I'm going to go through a few things that I don't think other reviewers have, and share my opinions on this particular shoe, because from the minute that I first saw it, I was like, I need it. And the main reason, because I am sick of the YEEZY 350 Boost. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't like it. I just feel like there are so many colorways. If you agree, please comment down below your thoughts and what you think of the most recent two that dropped in December. All I'm going to say is it's a no from me. Now, this is the YEEZY 380 in the Alien colorway, and it was obviously touted to be the V3 version of the 350 Boost, but it had its own name and it is its own silhouette. It does look a lot different to the V2. It takes some hints and some stylizations from it, but it is different, and we're going to get into it right now. So let's take them out of the box and let's check them out. So I haven't reviewed a new YEEZY silhouette for a little while, so it is straight the same brown box that you get 350s, 500s, 700s in, which is a shame. It would have been quite nice that they might have mixed that up a little bit, but they didn't, and it comes with the same type of tissue paper, so I don't need to go into any more of that. I did pick these up in a UK 9.5, and I was told that they could fit quite tight. Now, what I'll be truthful and say is that I think that this fits me fine. It's the same as my V2 350 fit, but some people may need to go a full size up if you've got extremely wide feet. And for me, I've got wide feet, but not extremely wide feet. Before I show you the shoe, and if you do need any form of remembering what a 350 Boost looks like, these are the closest colorway that I've got maybe to them, maybe the static as well, and this is the reflective cloud white colorway. And as you can see, one of the biggest things that I've noticed about the Alien is the change of toe box and the thickness, shall we say, or the depth of toe box, and where the lacing structure is in terms of on top of the upper compared, as well as the obvious, which is the way that the sock liner has changed hugely. So let's bring them together. So if we have a look at this, this is the Alien. This is the OG 380 colorway, and it is named Alien, Alien, Alien. So there is hints of cream, hints of white, hints of grey throughout this shoe, and then you've got these really, really distinctive, huge rips that run from just around the mid part of the toe box all the way along to the back of where your ankle is. It does exactly the same on the inside. Now, I'm going to take the inside tissue paper out of this so you can see my fingers through it. So you can see, like, through there, this big rip, this big tear, gives this really, really interesting organic kind of look to the shoe. It definitely gives this shoe a very, very bizarre look from that standpoint, and I feel like it's going back a little bit to the original V1 350 with the kind of ink blotch kind of pattern that runs all across it. Some people feel like it looks a little bit snake-esque as well. I really love it. I think it's such a cool change. Now, the biggest distinctive thing is the change in the sole. As you can see, it's now very smooth. It doesn't have that distinctive ridge midsole like these have. Maybe gone are the days that the ridge midsole is going to be on Yeezy shoes, because the new 700 V3 that just dropped has a similar smooth midsole just like these, and I really like it. I think it's a really, really nice, clean aesthetic. A lot of people aren't really feeling the smooth sole and feel like it's really deep, but then you do get a lot more boost, and the overall feeling is that having them on feet are more comfortable than the V2 350s, which I will have to evaluate for myself over the weeks and months to come. And obviously you can see this new end of the heel. It's got a really, really steep kind of drop on that back heel, and if you do wear Yeezys to the gym or you do run in them, they might be a little bit better. Other than that, I think most people wear them for lifestyle wear, so that's really not going to apply to me because I don't wear Yeezys down the gym, and I don't really think that you should. Other aesthetic changes are that through the mid part of the shoe, as you can see in the image, you can tell that the classic cross stitch has now gone. Now, again, it is a new silhouette, so it shouldn't necessarily 100% take all of its key features from the 350, and I think that this makes it its own as well, having no cross stitching there. And we have got a similar kind of lacing system to the 350. Biggest change from this shoe to a 350, if you were thinking about picking up a pair of the Aliens, is whether you like a tight sock liner over this more broader sock liner. Now, one of the things that I found with this particular shoe is that it will fit you really snug, really tight. So it really is going to be a difficult one to fit when it comes to sort of your trousers, your pants, your jeans, whatever you're going to be wearing. The likelihood is they're going to suit a more tapered look, and that's what I'm going to be wearing when I do wear my Aliens, but I think that you've got to make that fit work for you. One of the things that people loved about this is that you could wear them with anything, but there's one thing that I really didn't like about the 350 V2s. This bit sometimes would do this. It would just bend over. It would look a bit like a sad spoiler. And that was one thing that I really didn't like. When you were wearing maybe a less ankle hugging jean or jogger or something, and it was weighing down on it, would make them bend back. It didn't look very good, and that was the one thing that I didn't like, and why I like these so much. One of the things I really like about this particular silhouette as well, and the new silhouette, is that it gives you a few more options for lacing. There are considerable amounts of holes running up that side where you've got the transparent mesh kind of slit that runs through the side. It's not all open though, because to give that area of mesh a bit of structure, there are these little strips. They're like a transparent strip that runs through the inside of here, and it's to give it more rigidity, more structure. It's the same on both sides, and yeah, you have got more options, but not every hole is available to use. One of the things that I really want to do with these is I want to wear them with the lacing system maybe one loop up and give me that sort of more broader toe box look again from the 350s. I do like it, but it may make you feel like you've got really small feet. I know it sounds stupid, but I kind of get that vibe. So I'm going to give it a try and see what it's like. If you want to see what that's like, I'm going to drop some pictures on my Instagram account, which is at ty_kix. Go and check it out and hit the follow button if you want to. So let's get on to the upper. The upper material is all a really, really dense prime knit. It doesn't have loads of stretch throughout all of the shoe. Around the sock liner, you've got quite a lot of stretch, which is great considering that that hole is pretty small to get your foot into. So it is going to be a bit of a struggle, and I do imagine that maybe down the line, if people start to ask for it, these may end up with some kind of heel tab on them. But for now, no heel tab, like the original 350 V2 Belugas. The front area has got some structure to it, a little bit like that 350 V2 as well, but the upper prime knit that is all the way around it is rather textured. It's got different thicknesses of texture. So you'd say like maybe that the cream stands out a little bit higher than the grey, that stands out a little bit higher than maybe the white areas. That gives it a sort of three-dimensional prime knit kind of feeling as well, which is really, really nice. Then it's quite thin around the sock liner area, so that's quite nice as well. It's not going to be too aggressive and rub you. Inside of the shoe, you have got a quite decent amount of padding around the inside of the shoe. As you can see here, they've really implemented a decent amount of internal padding around the heel, just so it's nice and comfy. And because it will ride up a little bit higher on your ankle, you really do want to have some comfort around there. Insoles are just your standard Yeezy insoles, but with the performance branded logo on them. Now onto the midsole, the one thing that is really interesting about this shoe. Now, if you really do look closely to the midsole, you can see that there is this kind of strange pattern that runs all the way through it. It's really bizarre. It kind of looks a little bit like glue that hasn't attached to the boost inside or something. It kind of almost looks a little bit like condensation or something inside the shoe. It gives it a two-tone yet kind of almost I don't really know how to put it, but it's almost like a real weird uneven pattern running all the way through inside of that midsole. And then we go on to the bottom. Now on the bottom of this midsole is a proper traction sole. Finally on a Yeezy, and a Yeezy Boost for that matter, we've got more tread on the sole, but we've also got a lot more boost around the heel, and we've got boost embossed into it now, which looks really cool. We've got this really wavy design showing off some of the boost, but in sort of maybe a lesser sense than previous V2 350s. And then at the back, we've got the Adidas performance branding stamped into it. Overall, this shoe is definitely one to cop. If you didn't cop it and you like Yeezys, you really should get your hands on it. Prices aren't absolutely horrendous, but they are fairly limited. And do remember, these are an OG colorway, and OG colorways are always going to be the benchmark for future colorways on the way. And look at the Wave Runner, look at the Beluga, look at the Turtle Dove. Everything that's ever come out as a first timer has always been fairly coveted. So if you look around and you make sure you do your references, you may be able to find yourself a decent pair post-Christmas. Another thing is that with that area that has that translucent mesh, it can glint a little bit in certain lights. So it's not 3M, and the sole, disappointingly, is not glow in the dark. I think a lot of people thought that because it was an alien colorway that it will probably glow in the dark, and it just doesn't, which is a little bit disappointing. But there are some situations where I want to wear it and I don't really want to draw a load of attention. So this was the Yeezy Boost 380 in the alien colorway, and I think it's about that time we did an on foot. So that is it. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Thai Kicks for more sneaker news, events and vlogs, and have a fantastic Christmas.